We are fixing, yet again, another person's mistake.
What do you think? No more pink! So this is a little over my head.
I bet you Shakira has a stool like this.
I couldn't be happier. All of the plants, the light, the wood. Yeah, I think we crushed it.
Good morning. Tyler is over at the land and we've been talking about wanting to make this place our own. So I decided, let's start that today. So I woke up, I went to the hardware store and I got the stuff to make over the office. Tyler knows that this was kind of coming, he just didn't know it was coming today. But my goal is to get as much of it done as I can while he's over there working, kind of like a surprise. So that's what we're gonna do today. So the first thing we need to do is go around and crack fill all the holes in the drywall. Sand them down a little bit, put a bit of mud over top, and then that way we'll have nice smooth walls for painting. You know what, it's not that bad in here. I was in my head thinking it was gonna be way worse. All right, so I think I might have just solved a mystery. There's a light switch here that has been driving me crazy because I don't know what it does. I thought it was for the plugs, it wasn't. So now I've just been like, well, maybe there used to be a light outside, or I don't know, my mind's been running. So anyway, I just took this painting off on the wall and I was saying to myself, it's always interesting when you take the painting off, what's behind it? Well, it turns out there's a junction box. So I'm thinking that this junction box is for a light that is controlled by a switch over here. That's my theory. I'm gonna get to work on taping because I really like the wood in here and I'm really nervous that I will get white paint all over it. So I'm gonna get to work on that while the mud dries. And then also that way when I sand it, the sand will be on the tape and not on the baseboards, in theory.
All day long I'm smiling, I'm happy all the time. That sun keeps on shining and it's got me feeling fine.
While we're waiting for the mud to finish drying just a little tiny bit more, I'm gonna get started on taking off all the electrical plates. So these ones aren't going to go back on because they're a little bit sun faded. So I've got new ones that'll go on that'll just really help refresh the space. Now, safety for the floors. I've never used a drop cloth before because normally we paint before we put the new floor in, but since we're gonna keep the floor as is, I figured I might as well invest in a drop cloth. Wow! Walls are prepped, plates are off, we're taped. We're ready to finally start painting. So let's bring it in. Where do I want to start painting? I paint this way, so I need to start over this way.
It's my lucky day, no breaking my mood. I'm feeling too good.
Okay, so I got 2 walls done, but I decided to change gears. Instead of continuing around the room, I'm going to get the door done because I'm worried it might take a little bit longer to dry where it's metal. So I'm gonna do that and then all the stuff around it, and then I'll do the big wall because I do have to get the ladder to do that as well.
No one can bring me down, cause I'm high above the clouds. I'm floating in blue and feeling brand new.
Good morning. I am flying solo at the land today. Todd is on a major organization kick at the land, and I've learned my lessons over the years. When he is in that kind of mood, I stay out of the way. I had to come over to the land anyway today because we are fixing, yet again, another person's mistake. A qualified contractor, I may add. You may remember a few months ago when we got this wood stove installed in the upstairs. Well, as it turns out, it was installed incorrectly, which is a really, really big deal because we cannot have insurance without getting what's called a wet certification for that unit. Basically, a wet certification is something that you provide to your insurance to say, hey, it's safe for me to have a fire inside because it was installed by a qualified person who knows what they're doing. Long story short, was not installed properly. Also, this just drives me insane. I just want to show you guys this for a second. Like, look at all of this mess. This is supposed to go down through the floor and provide hot air and ventilation that the wood stove generates. It's just laying here. This really gets me. This is the blower. This is the floor level. This is above the floor. How on earth would we ever be able to put finished floor above this. Like it just, you can't make it up. Anyway, I'm trying not to be annoyed, trying not to be frustrated, but it did take several months for us to get this appointment back. So anyway, it is what it is. They're just pulling in the driveway now. So I'm gonna go let them in and we're gonna get set up. He put it there, I think, because he was originally gonna go under there because he had access there.
Uh-huh.
So
If I move this over to here, I can sink it down to your floor so you can have your hatch.
yeah,
Run the pipe back and sink right down there.
yeah,
And that'll be about as close as I can get to center.
which would be way cleaner.
Finally feeling better, lighter than a feather, got the magic infuser.
So the guys just left. They've got the faceplate on, the door, everything with the unit is perfect and done. However, it is still not wet certified. I honestly can't believe it. The vent, they didn't have time to do it today because they have another appointment. So we're gonna have to go back on the waiting list and rebook. Where we live, obviously, is very cold right now. So this is the busiest time of the year. And apparently the way they do it is they prioritize based on whether you have heat or not. And because we're not living in this house, we are a lower priority. Anyway, I guess now you can see why it's taken us like 3 years to build. There's just always something that comes up. But I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day organizing, cleaning, sweeping, doing all of the stuff that we need to do to turn this dump back into like an actual workable construction site. So when the next project we pick up, we're ready to go and inspired because the space is clean. That's what I'm telling myself. The lies we tell ourselves, right?
All we need is here, the water's crystal clear.
I cannot get over how much brighter it is in here. It's quite shocking, actually. I don't know if the camera's doing a good enough job, but as the sun is moving and coming in different ways, it's, yeah, very exciting. Definitely made the right decision.
Got the sunshine feeling, sunshine feeling.
All right, we're on the final stretch now for the first coat. The good news is, because it's taken me so long to do all the cutting in, I'm actually able to start the second coat immediately. So I'm just gonna keep going in circles, I guess. That's okay. Oh, I'm so excited for this to be gone. Wow. What do you think? No more pink. Love it. I find with the second one I can make up time because it doesn't need to be all the way in because I've got all the way in done. Okay, it's time to change gears. I'm going a little bit loopy from all the painting. I'm also a little bit sad because as the second coat is drying, it's looking like I'm gonna have to do a third coat because the color was so dark and obviously white is really light. So anyway, I'm gonna step back from painting for a second and do the electrical while we still have sunlight. I always forget these are such short days and try and jam pack so much into them. So I'm just gonna switch out the switches with the new Decora ones, which just kind of look a bit nicer and they're not the beige color. And then for the plugs, we're also going with the Decora ones, but they're the anti-tamper, so no one can stick anything in it and fry themselves. So, I am assuming, oh my God, how did I get the wrong screwdriver again? Holy, this is the third one. This is ridiculous, Squirrel. You're supposed to be helping me with this and you're not doing a very good job. You are not doing a very good job. You're not gonna get promoted to fourth woman. Maybe someone smarter than me or more mechanically inclined can tell me why there are so many different types of screw heads and why within that there's different sizes of them. So there's 3 different Mr. Squares. Like, it's ridiculous. One type. Let's simplify the world. What's wrong, Squirrel? I didn't mean you weren't gonna get your promotion, I'm sorry. No, it's too late, the damage is done. Shoo-bop, doop-a-dap-a-doo-boo-bop, shoo-ba-dap-a-doo-bop, shoo-ba-dap-a-doo. Hey, yeah. Wish I had a drill, but they're over at the land. I need to remember to bring some tools here. Got no tools.
I just spent the last few hours organizing the containers. It looks so much better in there, which is a relief because now when we have our next inspection, the inspector isn't gonna be like, wow, this job site is a dump. I wonder what else is going on in here. I think it just makes sense to kind of put your best foot forward. But next up on the to-do list is the workshop. When we moved to the lake, we really just left like a lot of stuff, like Clue. Like there's a blanket. There's just so many like random little things that aren't super important but didn't make the move. So I'm gonna start organizing this, but the first thing I need to do is have my session, and that's with BetterHelp, the sponsor of today's video. Obviously, with the way that we've lived for the last few years, driving an hour to go sit in an uncomfortable waiting room and then meet with a therapist, it just was not realistic. Like, I was never gonna follow through with that, but I have been able to follow through with BetterHelp. I have been using it for 3 years now because no matter what I have on today, I have a million things on my to-do list, but I always have time to dial into a 45-minute call. I can just, from the comfort of my own home, check in with my therapist, which has been really a transformative experience for me. A few years ago, I was doing bi-weekly calls, and now I've dropped down to monthly. And the reason for that is I've learned so many skills and things that I just didn't know about myself that have allowed me to show up in my life and in my friends and family as a better, more full person. But I have BetterHelp to thank for that. It's just the reality. I know that so many of you could benefit from it. It's truly, truly changed my life. Make sure you click the link in the description box down below. You'll save 10% off your first month of therapy. You really have nothing to lose by giving it a try. And truly, when I mean this when I say this, it has changed my life. I know it will for you too. So I'm gonna jump onto my call and then start lugging these tools back to the lake.
I've seen mountains rise and seen the sunny shores. I've traveled miles away just to go a little more. I've met so many faces, but when I met yours, I knew I wanna hold on to you.
It's definitely good that we're painting it lighter in here because it's brighter, because we're losing the daylight quickly. So what I'm gonna do now is get the lock on so that I can at least close the door for the night, because I really don't know where we're going to get to. Take the keypad, we take this little wire here, and we make sure we don't get it pinched anywhere. This one's different than our last one. Tricky.
Seen all the oceans rise and ebb and flow away through all this change I'm going through. Forever looks good on you.
It works! If Tyler makes me mad, I'm gonna change the code and lock it. Paint should be dry, so let's move on to the old light fixture over here, you know? Set you down there. Well, let's get at this. So the light fixtures we're going with are wood with this really nice cement look, which I think is gonna be pretty sharp. But I gotta take these off. Oops, just drop that on the floor so I know where it is later. So this is a little over my head. I don't know. This is definitely something that we'll put a picture over it and wait until we have an electrician here to work on that. Oh, I should probably put this back together before I lose it, and then I'm gonna take this downstairs before I break it. Because I'm being a responsible adult. Responsible is my middle name. Oh, forgot to do a plug. So I'm gonna go fire up the power, I guess, and then pour a glass of wine, and we'll get back to painting. Oh, wait, no. Plug power wine. Plug power PPWP. Plug power wine paint. Then hopefully T comes home soon.
Forever looks good on you.
Got some wine, we've got the power back on, the plugs are all working. Got a couple lamps, and we're just gonna keep going, so cheers. This is a really cool feature that was here. That one, look at it. It's got lights. How beautiful is that accent lighting? And it's on the other side as well. Ooh, okay, we're gonna play a drinking game. Every time I get off the stool, I have to take a sip. That's so I'm more efficient, like it's like a motivation thing. But I just got down, so I'm gonna take a sip. And then the object of the game is to see if the walls get done first or if I can't drink any more wine.
Thinking about it, how it usually goes, putting my heart out to watch you walk out the door.
Okay, so I didn't take a sip the last time, so I have to take 2. This is a hard game.
What the hell do I really know? Building my walls up, cause I've been here before, looking for nothing, but then you walk through the door.
We do need a 3rd coat. I was in my head thinking maybe we could get away with just the 2, but when I take my phone light up to it, you can really see some of the dark pink coming out in some areas, so looks like it is gonna be a 3-coat room, which gives me hope for the other rooms, like the purple one. That's okay. That's a problem for another day. Oh, Tyler's home! He's waiting back. I was just getting ready to turn the camera off and now I don't know what to do. Like, should I keep painting and pretend to be like, oh, what, this whole thing?
Hey,
How was your day?
good. I can see you had a good day.
I did, so I got started on the office. Had really big plans. I thought the desk would be in. I thought it would be completely finished, but I am about halfway done the painting, so that's a win. I thought it was creating like a nice little zen area for you to come home and unwind in, but no, instead, instead it's a construction site.
Wow, it looks really good though.
You should see it in the day. New switches, new door lock.
Wow,
Been busy.
been busy. Busy bumblebee.
Yeah. This little thing buzz.
Have you been drinking wine?
Yeah, I play a game and it's called, everyone's playing with me. Well, I don't know if they are, but every time I get off the stool, we take a sip. Well, I'm gonna keep painting because, per usual, I bit off more than I can chew, so I'm just gonna...
It looks really good though.
It does, doesn't it? I was a little nervous when it went on at first, like the first coat, because I thought it was going to like 70s porn set with the wood and the white.
Bow chicka wow wow.
But I think it looks good.
I think it looks really good. So we just got all the tape off the windows and all the trim. I cannot get over how much different the space feels. The wood pulls maybe like the yellow hues or something in the paint. I don't know, but I'm honestly at a loss for words at how much it's transformed the space. It feels
perfect.
It feels so big. I can't wait to see it in the morning. However, Todd just set up these 2 lamps here.
Subtle cues.
He said, let's see how it looks. But really, that was just a test because now he wants to set up all the furniture, which after the day that I had, I don't really want to do. However, I was not expecting to come home to all of this, so now I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, and
I want to see it.
even if we don't get it all done, let's
We can
just
get a chunk. Yeah, let's just have fun. Let's just have some
fun.
wine. We've got the little fire going there.
We've got Squirrel here, the boys there.
Yeah, let's just have a fun night.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, let's go grab the stuff.
Okay. So we got no tools, so it's all by hand.
Good place to start.
I don't know if these hands can handle that tool.
Step 1.
Step 1.
Parts, components, and hardware. If you're opening a box, everything within that box needs to stay together.
Stay over there.
You stay in your lane and I'll stay in mine. I should get my wine. That seems rounded.
It is rounded. Ergonophis. If the base of this was perfectly flat,
You wouldn't move.
you wouldn't move. But this, it's like I'm on a ball. So my core is activated right now. That is so cool.
Gonna have apps for summer.
Well, let's not get out of hand.
I bet you Shakira has a stool like this.
La 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 la.
Noise.
Noise. That is noise.
That's noise.
gorgeous.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Now we get to do that again, but with the small one.
Oh, can't wait.
You and me go together like
fireworks on a summer night. Burn marshmallows in a campfire. I swear, we know each other from another life. Yeah, reminiscing on a back porch.
1, 2, 3.
It's a little lower than I thought. Like, in case you grow.
In case little Angelica is 7'6".
We don't know how tall the next generation will be.
Oh my God, Todd. Hey, we could get treadmills that go under here.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? We could go for our morning walks.
I need a phone that goes like this. Where's the scissors? Right there.
Oh, no, that's not scissors.
Scissors, scissors. Who took the scissors? I found the scissors. They were on the floor.
Is your plan to finish tonight?
I was hoping.
Oh my fucking God.
Always there when I need to phone a friend. You got me and I got you till the end.
Good morning. We ended up staying up way too late last night, but we put all the furniture together. We finished the space. I'm gonna let you do the tour since this was your vision, but it looks so beautiful.
It was totally worth staying up late because now we have a beautiful place to work. So we'll start over in this corner, and we found the perfect solution for covering up the junction box, and that's
Yeah.
thanks to all of you. It's our YouTube plaque, so it hides it. We never have to worry about what's behind it again until we can get an electrician in to look at it. But we've got the propane stove here, and it is so nice to have. Now that it's winter, I find this must have been like an add-on or a second thought because it doesn't seem as well insulated as the rest of the house, so it takes the chill out while we're in here working.
Especially with that little chair there. It's
Yeah.
just such a cozy place to just sit down, and you can have the view of the lake. If I'm working there, editing at the desk, Todd can sit there with a glass of wine and keep me company. It's
Or
just
tell you all the stories and annoy you.
probably the latter.
But it's also nice, we've got a little table here, and this camera was actually Tyler's grandfather's camera, which is really cool that it's now in here and sort of, you know, with you as you're working on our videos.
Yeah, it is cool.
And then we've got Tyler's desk here, which is really nice. It's big enough for both of us to sit at, so if we're having meetings or anything, we can both be here taking notes, but it also gives Tyler space to stretch out with all of his cameras and memory cards and really be organized while he's trying to put these videos together.
Also, don't forget our future treadmill area.
Oh yeah, so the desk is called Ergon Office, and basically it like raises and lowers, so if you want to have it as a standing desk you can, or if you want to have it as a sitting desk you can, and the best part is too, you can adjust it in between. So for instance, I like my desk to be a little bit higher than Tyler does, so if I'm using it, I can raise it to what's comfortable for me, and Tyler can lower it to what's comfortable for him.
I think it's perfect, and we have this office chair here, but that stool we also tucked under there, so if Todd and I both want to work at the desk, we totally can. There's enough space here in order to do that. But Todd came up with a really, really good idea, and it's for him to have his own office setup on this side, because like, what were we doing with that space really?
Yeah,
I love it.
I don't know what we were gonna do with it, but it's nice because, so I do more of the admin side of things, so as I've got my paperwork spread out, I can actually just get up and leave it. I don't have to put it away for Tyler to then use the desk. Plus I have all kinds of storage for my books and all the stuff that I need for what I do. And I love the color of it. It's like that 1970s, almost like, is it plywood that's been stained? But I think it just plays off the wood of the house really nicely.
I couldn't be happier. All of the plants, the light, the wood, everything. This is sort of like our test sample of what we want the rest of the house to be, and
yeah,
I think we crushed it.
I know. I know we said we weren't gonna do a bunch of things right away, but
yeah.
I have a feeling paint is making such a big difference that we might as well just keep going. Right?
But it's also inspiring, like this is the place that we're gonna work. Like I wanna sit here and edit our videos and be proud of what we're creating, and this is a very good first step. But what do you boys think? You wanna go for a walk?
We didn't get one in yesterday,
We
did
didn't get one in yesterday. Do you wanna say hi to everyone before we go?
Oh, hey buddies, all right. Let's go for a walk. You ready? Let's go.
We'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.